How do you find other businesses to pitch your services to? That's a really good question. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to source B2B leads on LinkedIn for free. Hey, my name is Megan and welcome back. Before we get going, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so that you get alerted every time I upload new content. Generating B2B leads can feel really overwhelming. Where do you even start? What do you look for? There's one reason in particular that LinkedIn is so powerful when it comes to sourcing B2B leads, and that's because it allows you to connect with another human being. Where so many people go wrong with lead generation is that they think that the company is the lead, but that's not the case. Your lead is not the business. Your lead is a human being who works for the business. If they don't have a pulse, they're not a lead. Now, there are many ways you can use LinkedIn to source B2B leads for your business. I'm going to show you two of my favorite methods, and then at the end of this video, I will have a bonus tip for you, so make sure you stick around. This is part of what I teach in my client acquisition program, Revenue Spark, and these are processes and methods that I use almost every day myself. To use these methods, it's going to really help you if you already have a niche picked out. If you don't worry, because I have a couple of videos on that. They'll be somewhere on the screen, but I will drop the links in the description below. If you need help picking a niche, go watch those first. All right, let's go. I'm gonna show you my screen.
Okie dokie artichoke. We are on my LinkedIn account, and here's what we're gonna do. Let's say, as an example, that your niche is law firms. Maybe you want to write blogs for law firms, or you want to offer your social media services to law firms, your graphic design services, whatever. In this video, law firms is going to be our sample niche. So what I would do is go up to the search box and type in law firm. And we are just, we are waiting. Okay, so here are the results. And then here's the thing. LinkedIn is giving us a whole mess of stuff. We don't want to look at everything right now. We want to organize it a little bit better. So what we're going to do is click on more and then click on companies. And then what this does is it shows us all of the company pages for businesses that have law firm in the title. So we can go and click on any of these as an example. Let's look at Lexington Law Firm. We'll open this, let it load. And then what you would do here is first familiarize yourself with the company, because if you watch my videos, you know that when you do outreach, whether it's on LinkedIn or by email, you always personalize the messages for the lead. So that means you need to do your homework and get to know them a little bit better. So you can look at their overview, you can go to their website. After you do that, what you do is you would look at their employees who have listed them as an employer. So you would just click right here in the top right corner, and then it's going to load the page of all the people who have listed themselves as an employee of Lexington Law Firm. At this point, you would go through and find someone who has a title that is related to the service that you offer. As an example, if you are a writer, you might want to look for a director of content. If you are a social media manager, you would maybe want to look for a director of marketing or a marketing manager. Okay, so that is the first method. Search your niche, view by companies. Let's start over fresh. And I'm going to show you the second method, law firm. So once again, we're searching our niche, and this time we're going to view by people. Remember what I said a moment ago, the business is not the lead. The person that works for the business is the lead. So this is just another quick way to find people who work for law firm. Now, it won't be as precise if you were to go and search by company like we did in this case. Either one works. In the first example, we were looking at employees for a specific company. In this case, we're looking at employees for the niche as a whole. All right, you probably saw when I typed this in a moment ago, you could also narrow it down right here in this drop down. Both methods will give you lots of results, lots of usable information and people that you can connect with. All right. Now there's one more thing I want to show you. And again, I'm just going to start a search from fresh so I can show you from the beginning. We'll type law firm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all filters and look at this. Lots of options to play around with under LinkedIn's filters. A couple of things that I will sometimes like to do. I've got clients all over the world, but depending on the specific service I'm trying to sell or who I'm trying to work with, I will very often go under locations and I will narrow it down to US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Okay, so that's one option. Of course, you see lots of options here. You could narrow it down by language. Something else I like to do. So if you look at title here, a moment ago, I was talking about trying to track down the person that works in the department that you would be working in. So as an example, if you are trying to sell your writing services, you want to look for someone with a title like Director of Content or Editor. And this is one more place where you can easily narrow that down. Now, full disclosure, when you use title, it takes a little bit of trial and error because the title is not going to be the same for every person at every company. For some businesses, the person who's in charge of the blog goes by Director of Content. Sometimes they go by Editor. Sometimes it's the marketing manager. So you have to play around with this a little bit and see what gives you the best results. Let's just do another example. I'm going to put here Director of Marketing and leave it at that. Hit apply. And here we go. So again, this is just an example. I narrowed it down by law firm and then by location. So it's showing me people in the US, UK, and Canada. And then look at this. Director of Marketing, Marketing Director, Marketing Director. All right, so we narrowed it down further using filters and looking for people with a specific job title. Pretty simple, very straightforward, but it works. And it is a quick and free way to find endless leads. You will never run out of leads again.
All right, that's it. Those are just a couple of very quick but effective ways that you can source B2B leads on LinkedIn totally for free. Sometimes I'll show people these methods and they look at me and they're like, that's it? That's it. It's not fancy, but it doesn't have to be fancy if it works, which it does. If you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know that I am obsessed with LinkedIn, and that is because it has brought me so much business. It is an integral part of what I do in growing my own business and also what I teach my students in Revenue Spark. If you haven't yet, use the link in the description below to grab my free guide. I will show you how to optimize your LinkedIn page so that you will rank higher in search results and bring more traffic to your business. I've also included one of my proven email templates. Again, this is free. You can use this template for cold or warm emailing. All you do is copy paste it, plug in your details, and off you go. Wait. Before you go, please click the thumbs up button below this video and tell YouTube you like my content, which if you stuck around this long, I know you did. Don't try to lie to me. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you next time.